Hi, this is Kian once again. Welcome to Prayer Line. Precious one, I want you to know that today is the day the Lord has made. Will rejoice and be glad in it. Child of God, I want you to know that there is a great wind of change taking place in the whole world. There's a great wind of change. Change is taking place globally. The world is under constant change, and it is very rapid because I believe that we are very close to the entering into the new world order, and we are very close to embrace the coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the Lamb of God that takes away the sins of the world. Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life. No one has access to the Father except through Jesus Christ. There's a great wind of change taking place in the whole world. And this year has been very great year in the sense that a lot of things have taken place in this particular year 2011, and it's ushering us into this new world order. And these changes, I want us to look into it and don't see it or hear it just as news or fact, but realize that there is something to it. Something is definitely taking place, and very soon Jesus Christ will be coming for the saint. This year alone, even when we look at the weather in this country, the United States, we have had a very historic tornadoes, extreme weathers, bitter winters, oppressive summer, hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes, wherever you turn. Just this year alone, we haven't even started Thanksgiving on in October, the middle of October, where we celebrate Thanksgiving. And usually after Thanksgiving, that's when the weather really changes and you begin to see the snow coming in and all that. But of late, we've been experiencing extreme weathers. Extreme weathers. For instance, this year we've recorded the seventh warmest spring. This year they recorded the seventh warmest spring and also the second hottest summer. The second hottest summer. In Texas alone, they also found out that Texas recorded the worst drought in history. The worst drought in history. The farmers really did not have a good season in the same because of drought, and it was the worst drought in history. You know what's going to happen very soon? It's going to have a toll on the market. Think prices of good, food is going to go high because there's going to be food shortage, and also because of what is going on in the economy. Because right now the United States, we are in almost $14 trillion in debt, whereas and they are cutting more American money bills in. Is going to bring about what is called inflation, hyperinflation. It will going to kick in recession, depression, and very soon food is going to become very expensive, very expensive. So the wisdom is that if you have some money there, make sure that you are storing some amount of food, so that in case of any increase in prices in food because of food shortage, because as I told you, Texas recorded the worst drought in history. They couldn't harvest much of their crops. You are going to see its effect in the year 2012. Also because of the economic meltdown, the global economic meltdown, which the United States of America find itself in 14 trillion dollars in debt. It's going to bring inflation or hyperinflation. Prices of food especially will go so high. So next year, be looking out for very expensive food. You go to the grocery and then no, you would like to buy food and bring it home to take care of your family, but you realize that almost everything there is, sugar, maize, corn, flour, whatever you want, is very expensive, so high. Remember that also we have recorded a lot of earthquakes, volcanoes, flooding. So countries which used to supply food and all this, because they have been hit by these natural disasters, it's also going to affect their productivity or the export of food into this nation, and also it's going to prevent the cars that move from state to state distributing food. Remember also that gas prices are going high. what I'm trying to tell you is that food prices are going to be going so high. So have some money, save some food. 6 months of food in case of any natural disaster. You have this food in storage which you can lean on, or when it becomes too expensive, at least you bought some food and you had it, so that you don't have to spend so much, because already people are having problem um, using their money to pay bills and their mortgage, and now sometimes to also use some of the same money to buy food, and now the little money you have to buy food is so expensive. What are you going to do? So now if you have money, begin to store some food for the year 2012, because it's going to be a very, very tough year. But those who know their God will definitely come true for you. So Texas recorded the worst drought in history. This summer was the hottest summer. We experienced the hottest summer. We also had the seventh warmest spring. Right now, it is not even Thanksgiving. However, in the northeastern part of the United States, we realize that right now we have 1.6 million people without power, because states like Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts, uh, Pennsylvania, and Western Massachusetts and Western Virginia, they have already experienced snow. It has already started snowing in these states, and these are very rare. They are already having snowstorm, and almost 13 people are dead. 13 people are dead because of slippery road. Slippery road. This is not the time for it to even snow, but it has. They've had a rare storm of snow already, and right now 1.6 million people are out of power. They don't have light, and it affected states like Connecticut, New Jersey, um, West Western Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia to Maine. So we haven't even gotten to the time of where the snow should come in, and already we already have the 14th coldest winter approaching. So you realize that we are having extreme weather. Extreme weather. These are some of the wind of change taking place globally, and this we've also had um, Texas had the worst drought in history. Mississippi has also been recording high levels of flood. Mississippi has been recording high levels of flooding this year. There's been also deadly outbreak of tornadoes in Missouri and Alabama. Deadly tornadoes in Alabama. Extreme weather changes has been taking place. Some of the states in the United States of America has also been experiencing wildfire. The forest has been burning, and it has affected a lot of homes. There's been extreme weather changes this year in this country. Then talk about earthquakes. This year we've recorded so many earthquakes in this country, even in the eastern coast where I am, in Maryland, Virginia, DC, and all, close to New York, Pennsylvania, and all those Carolina, South Carolina. We experienced 5.9 magnitude of earthquake and Hurricane Irene, and all over the place there's been a recording of earthquakes. Just this year alone, globally, worldwide, there's been more than 60 major earthquakes. 60 major earthquakes going on. Some years back, some decades back, in a whole 10 years, you could find only one or two major earthquakes. Maybe 2 decades, you may have only probably 10 major earthquakes. Decades is 10 good years or 20 good years, and maybe you may have 10 major earthquakes. But this year alone, 2011, we've had more than 60 major earthquakes worldwide. 60 major earthquakes worldwide. The recent one is what went on in Turkey, which I think was 7 point something magnitude, and we had some going on in India. Everywhere you go, earthquakes, tornadoes, volcanoes, flooding. No, there is a wind of change taking place in our world. Please don't look at these news and think they are just ordinary facts. They are signs that Jesus Christ is coming soon. They are signs that we are in the beginning of birth pains. I want you to make sure that your spiritual eyes of understanding is being opened into the reality of what is going on. We have had extreme weather changes. No, extreme weather changes. And it's all signatures of the fact that what Jesus Christ said, that when you see all these things, rumors of wars, earthquakes, famine, drought, these are all the beginning of birth pains. It means that the Son of God, the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the Savior of the world, is coming very soon to redeem, to rapture the saints. Please make your eyes open. When you hear this news, know that your redemption draweth nigh. Now, in the political world, we have also experienced a great deal of changes going on in the world. A great deal of changes is going on in the world, and some of the things I want you to see. When we look at this year, for instance, we've realized that there's been the removal of a lot of dictators, a lot of iron governing repressive government and regimes in office this year alone. And it started by routing and protesting, which happened in the Arab Spring. Whether the US or any other foreign nations were directly involved or uninvolved in the removal of these dictators, it is not my problem. My problem here is that there's been a lot of routing, protesting in the Arab nation, which has succeeded in removing a lot of their leaders or dictators, people who have been in power for more than 40 years and above. We've seen it going on in Algeria, we've seen it going on in Egypt, we've seen it going on in Iraq, Gaddafi's country, Libya. It's been going on. This year, we realized that there was the start of what is called Arab Spring. This Arab Spring started when a young man called Bouaziz in, I think, the country of Tunisia, who was selling fruit and vegetables for a living, and then the police in that country seized his items, and already at that time the cost of living had become very difficult, and food prices had gone so high, and now his lifelong work dealing with or living on fruit and vegetables, he sells it for living. It was seized, and this man was so angry that he set himself on fire, and that's what started this protesting that started in Tunisia and started entering into the other Arab nations. So this young man called Bouaziz, after he set himself on fire, after the police in that country had seized his fruit and vegetables, then the other countrymen became very angry and began to protest on the street in Tunisia, and then it just escalated, and then entered into Egypt, where almost 850 protesters were killed in the course of protesting. So this is what really started. It is all part of the economic crisis. No, economic crisis. The cost of living was becoming very difficult. Food prices were going high, and his food was seized by the police. His fruit and vegetables. He set himself on fire, and then it started the Arab Spring. Started from Tunisia, then went on to Egypt, and that's what we find going on in other countries like Yemen, Libya, Syria, Egypt. All these countries.